Hey, what is up, phone dogs? Beau here, and this is the BLU Studio Energy, a smartphone that has one killer feature that separates it from the others, and that is battery life. It features a 5000 milliamp battery, which has two real functions. It can power your smartphone for days on end, and it can also power other smartphones or devices in general, as BLU has set this device up with reverse charging, meaning you can actually use this BLU Energy as a power bank or external battery, which I thought was really cool. They also include this reverse charging micro USB to USB adapter in the box, so you can successfully do just that, and it works pretty well. The battery itself can last for a really long time. I was able to get about 14 hours, actually more than 14 hours of screen on time with the brightness cranked all the way up. I actually wasn't able to test the standby time, but BLU says it can last about 45 days on standby with 96 hours of standard usage, meaning you can use this device on and off for about 96 hours before you have to charge it again. So that's 4 days on a single charge, which is pretty amazing. Now, with such a big battery, you would think that this device would be super chunky, but it's really not too bad considering. It does measure in at 10.4 millimeters thick, which is a few millimeters thicker than the average flagship smartphone, but it's really not too bad and not too noticeable. There's a soft touch plastic back cover which feels very warm and comforting in the hands, if that makes sense. It almost feels slightly fuzzy to the touch, which I know sounds really weird, but it's the best way I can probably describe it. The flat edges and thicker design allow it to have great gripability. It's really not a bad constructed device overall, even though it is a quote-unquote budget smartphone. It costs just $149 off contract and can be purchased in black, white, or gold. I usually conclude my reviews with the price and some of the specs and whatnot, but I actually wanted to do it backwards because actually a lot of the specs of the BLU Studio Energy are pretty consistent with the various other budget-friendly BLU devices that BLU has been releasing over the past several months, with the exception, of course, of the massive 5000 milliamp battery. For example, we have a 5-inch 720p IPS LCD display, a quad-core Cortex A7 processor with 1GB of RAM, a microSD card slot for expandable storage, and an 8-megapixel camera sensor. Now, the performance is pretty decent, but nothing really special. This is not a fast phone, but it's not really slow either. It just gets the job done, which is all you could really ask for a $150 off-contract price tag. The display also doesn't look bad, but once again, it's nothing special. It's a 720p display. Images and text look pretty good, but they don't pop or really surprise you or make you think, ooh, wow, this is a nice display. Now that's reserved for Samsung. It does have a slight blue tint to it, and it doesn't get very bright, so outdoor visibility definitely does suffer quite a bit. I do like the minimal BLU software on top of Android 4.4 KitKat. It resembles stock Android in a lot of ways, but there are still plenty of added BLU software features in the notification panel, along with in the settings. For example, you can enable double tap to wake up the screen, as well as an option to draw the shape on the display when the phone is asleep to activate a certain app. If there's one thing BLU can do to really improve this device, in my opinion, is just to update it with Android Lollipop soon. That would make an already tempting purchase even more tempting. The camera is an 8-megapixel camera sensor, and it captures decent images in well-lit areas. I mean, low-light images are terrible, but that is generally the case with smartphones. There's a fair amount of detail in each of the images, and they seem to be properly exposed for the most part. The colors just aren't the brightest and most vivid is really the major complaint here, but you can definitely get by using the smartphone to take pictures here and there. As for the speakerphone on the back, it's loud enough, but I would have liked to have seen front-facing speakers as usual, but the sound is adequate, but once again, it's not the best, and actually can be kind of tinny at louder volumes. So overall, the BLU Studio Energy is for the power-hungry user who values battery life above everything else. Whether you use this device as an emergency smartphone that you can always rely on to have a charge, or as your daily driver, considering the specs you get for the price tag, it's really worth it if you're in the market for a sub-$200 smartphone for T-Mobile. I'll leave a link to the Amazon listing of this device in the description bar if you want to check it out, but let me know what your thoughts are of the BLU Studio Energy, but leave me a comment down below, and if you guys have any questions, definitely be sure to leave them down below in a comment, and I'll do my best to answer them. With that said, I'm Beau from PhoneDog.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.